Hey, third graders, it's Mrs. Linderman. We're going to talk today about something called character education, and we're going to use the book that we have worked on this week, right? Kamala and Maya's Big Idea. Character education, that's something that we learn about, but you might not know it by that name. So look on the screen. Character education is when you learn about good traits that help you get along in your neighborhood, your community, your school. So it focuses on good morals, things like respect and responsibility, being honest and trustworthy, being fair. And some of those traits are what a community needs for people to live and work together peacefully. And in this book, we've got a couple of really good examples of some character traits, some good character education that we all should strive towards. All right, so here's what we're going to talk about today. Responsibility. That's one of the traits we're going to talk about. Think about this story. In Kamala and Maya's Big Idea, there's some really great examples of when they were responsible, right? They decided they wanted to do something in the courtyard. They wrote a letter, right? That was being responsible, trying to do something, taking action when they want to make some change. They went and talked to their landlord. Remember the man who owns the building or works in the building, right? They came up with making some posters, right? They talked to lots of people in the story, right? They took action when they wanted to make a change. They were responsible that way. So I want you to show me a way that you were responsible in your life. All right, let me move my camera up a little bit here, see if you can see all of that, right? It says that they showed us some great examples in the story. And now you're going to think about a time when you were responsible. And on this next slide, you're going to spend some time clicking right where it says type here. Okay, when you do that, you're going to delete those two words and start typing on your own. Okay, and you're going to fill in this big box about describing a time when you showed responsibility in your life. Right? One of the other great character traits that is in this story is the word perseverance. And that's a really big word. You might hear someone say, they've persevered, or persevere is another word. And they showed us great examples of persevering too. And that means never giving up, right? You work hard, you have a goal, and you just don't give up. Sometimes we want to. So I want you to think about a time in your life when you just kept trying, you didn't give up, right? In their story, remember, they went to the landlord first and asked him if they could have a slide in the courtyard, and he said no, right? And then they kept asking. They asked him again and again, and then they asked other people for help, right? And some people said no, and some people said maybe, and then they kept asking, right? And they kept problem solving and trying to find ways to make this playground in their courtyard. So they didn't give up, right? They were kind about it. They weren't mean to people. They came up with a plan and they figured out how they were going to make money to buy the slide, if you remember, right? They had a bake sale and they had a yard sale, and they were able to make some money so that they could buy some of the things that they wanted in their playground. So they never gave up. And your job on the next slide is for you to think about a time maybe when you wanted to give up on something, but you kept going. And then you're going to share your story on this next slide. Same idea. You're going to click inside that box where it says type here. You're going to delete that. I don't need to see those words. I want to see your words. All right. So thinking about character education, right? Learning about good traits that we need to have as citizens in our community and what we can do in our community and in our lives. And you're going to talk about a time when you were responsible and a time when you persevered. You didn't give up.